Okay, this is getting to be a problem. I'm getting tired. Now, I defended Mr. Riley because of self-defense, and I want people to understand I do not condone corporal punishment. And I don't, y'all know me. It's just even the word nigga. Even I had a brother with a TOPS, which is Texas Organization Project, and that's when I went to go see Winnie Davis back 4 years ago when she run against Greg Abbott, the governor here in Texas. Okay, remember I told you that recently in a couple of videos that a brother about a little bit my complexion, a little darker, was on the bus. I was coming from the and he was, are you from? And I asked him, they was hiring because they are maybe hiring, but I probably don't even want to go for a job because someone in this organization gonna be acting a fool with me. No, okay. So what happened is I told them, I said, well, I hope some of the police officers that enable bad kids' behavior, particularly with a bitch, that little mammy and her daughter that I told you about. Yeah, I call her a bitch and man because she disgraced to our community. Um, they had to deal with. That I've called laws that had enabled this person behavior in the community. Well, I said the persons in charge of the area of this police are not good, and I'm going to detail of that story. And the dude was telling me, why you gonna call law, just beat their asses. I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. Only time I get physical with anybody, especially with a child, it has to be self-defense. And he didn't understand because I won't talk that hood get you language. So while we this and that, he said, you just being nice. Well, I want to be nice. I said, that's part of my conscience. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to start me. You can tell this man was a thug, just happened to join this movement, okay? And then I said, well, dude, I said, no, I said, don't talk to me since you're not gonna be sympathetic situation. Because one thing about me, I like to go with someone relate to me and sympathetic to me, not to someone, who gonna act all ugly and narcissistic and arrogant. Nigga, get away from me, then don't be dead. So when he said that, I just said, lucky I don't have a pistol. Cause I would say what one say and let him go ahead and say what wants to try to put a hand on me and I'll pop a bullet in his ass. Okay? Because he ain't like the fact that I would get the laws involved. And I understand that laws are abusing us as a people and other group and Hispanic folks as well. But what you can do, okay? It is the parents' fault these kids act a fool. And I'm not gonna beat someone else's child unless they put the hand on me, like in the situation when he threw a basketball at Mr. Riley, okay? And then two, if I did beat the little girl, okay, then her crackhead daddy, her pappy, should I say, her mammy ex-boyfriend to go detail of the case of this problem, who is a thug who tried to intimidate me when I wasn't even talking to this dude, cause my former homegirls of mine, um, I mean they associates, they're not friends anymore because I saw how shitty they could be. They were taught this dude. That's how the little girls would end up hanging around with us grown people. And I would tell my homegirl, "Can you please stop having these kids in our conversation? I know maybe you used to hearing cuss words as a child, but I don't cuss in front of kids, and then I don't like kids in our business." Okay, they understand they were bringing up that I was raised differently. Yes, I wasn't raised in the hood. I wasn't raised in the ghetto. Call me white boy. It's in my DNA. Okay, I don't look black as tall. I don't look pale and straight, but still, I'm not ashamed of it. Okay, I acknowledge what's in my roots, unlike y'all. Okay, and don't let the white man define who I am. Okay, with that one drop shit. And I don't buy into his stereotypes either. The job buy into the ghetto. Y'all could be in his mission show. They ever bring back the blackface mission show like the Megan Kelly was talking about. Y'all be good characters because y'all fit into the stereotype. But anyways, gets another subject. Anyway, as so what happened is the mammies, the hood rat little teenage hood rat that I cussed off used the N word. Okay, her mammy, who was on drugs, had a boyfriend who was a felon. He had a gun. He be on water. The drug that they put the cigarettes in or the weed in with them bombing fluid and making folks go crazy, like Kush. Okay, so when we chilling, this dude, which I didn't go call laws on him, I went to God on him. I did pray. I'm not perfect. Pray my novena, and the next week, this dude was locked up because he threatened other neighbors as well. So, not until the case of this problem. So, this dude, the stepdad, or we would call it, and I can't call him uncle because I'm real with that. That's like a stepdad because she was dating him, okay? She wasn't the brother to this dude, okay? Was coming up from his vehicle, have his music loud, look like Easy E without the jerry curl by our complexion camera, okay? It's little. Kind of like he want to start some shit with me, and I ain't did shit. He thought I was gay. But the dude was being locked up in the penitentiary, which that means you saw homosexual activity involved, and maybe you was participate in it, and you probably had some insecurity issues. Okay, it's called like it is. So anyway, I'm talk too much. So that's the reason why. Okay, so when I told the brother from Tops, Texas, organizing a project that's a civil rights that support Black Lives Matter, Latino Lives Matter, immigrant rights, all other stuff. The brother that's on this year, okay, and he's not educated. You know, I'm like, why y'all picking folks on the street who don't know political science, history, and have intelligent talking? I can curse, but when I'm talking intelligent stuff, I can leave out the cuss words. Okay, I know how to differentiate. Okay. Well, this dude, you can tell he was beaten because he was violent. Don't advocate violence in children when it comes on first hand level. The only time you use violence will be a elderly, a young, or even a person middle age like me, because I'm approaching middle age, of any human flesh. As long as it ain't no baby, okay, no toddler, or extremely defensively elderly that they just, have dementia or something. No, they ain't trying to put a physical threat on you, is when someone is ready to do physical harm on you. Either disrespect you. I do believe you have a right to clap back at their ass. Okay, what their age is, okay? Because they nerve to talk to you shit, regardless what your age is, younger than me, older than me, or same age as me, just take it. You want me to take shit, and I ain't did shit to you, okay? Because I was ready to clap back at the little girl. You had little kid, adults. That's a little girl. I don't care. When it came to older, that's an elderly person. I don't care what the fucking age is. You disrespect me, take the disrespect back. Because I'm not going to sign my head asking to be treated because your mammy, your pappy did you wrong. You want to project that shit on me because I don't want it in my life. Okay, that's called it is. So the reason I brought that up, the dude on the bus with the Tops green shirt, Texas organizing project, had her to call me nigga for nobody. Ain't nobody had my back. But I didn't want, since he was that crazy, you don't want to be dumb. You're not just scared. It's called being smart. You don't want to keep on running your mouth to the point that he might have a gun. He might end up hurting you. And the next thing, the laws who are shitty on, they might take his side because, you know what I'm saying, give him a point even though that he had told you. Okay? And Metro Police Department don't do shit. Even that sister, the sister who's in charge of Metro Police Department, she no good. I'm sorry, I don't know her person, but there was some cotton picking and Jemima Cooney when that white officer beat that sister up who called loss on him. And then I know it was a dark skinned brother that was being rude and on that water cush. It was on the train and all, okay. But excuse me, it shouldn't take a coon, a cotton picking coon, and sharp picking coconut coon to beat his ass. Two officers. Yes, y'all could have tased him, and got him off, okay? So if she's in charge of the Metro Police Department here in Houston, Texas, and she's supposed to be a sister and love our people and all that stuff, it's contrary to what her office under her she's superior to, okay? So that's why, because I'm gonna let you know, if I had a right to carry a pistol in my pocket, and this dude tried to reference, because I have right to clap back and get asked, it's verbal. But if you want to take it physical, just be prepared. Just like the cops will shoot your ass, I will shoot you too. And I don't look like no white person, but it's in my bloodline too, bitch. Okay? And he can call me coon, but the same way the white person will beat me up and shoot me, it's the same thing you do to me too, brother. So what's your argument? You contradict your damn self. See, you want to use the black American one drop rule DNA as a green light, as an excuse to beat me up and say, forgive, and I'm your brother, I didn't mean to, and then go back and do it again. But the white man can, no, nobody shouldn't do it, regardless of what your fucking color is. So anyway, race is whatever. So point is, how about we all respect each other and this shit will not go down? How about that? Y'all don't want to do mutual respect. Something wrong with that situation. Because I really respect you, respect me. But if you cross the line, disrespect, you pay you disrespect, okay? So I was being smart. Cause like I said, I know this dude crazy, and you think you bad, you might end up, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever put yourself online. A smart person, even a gangster, don't put himself online. They let them, you know what I'm saying, just walk away. But if he went to follow me, like trust me, like, this is case on that doggone bus, I would have shot his ass. trust and belief I had a right to carry. I'm bipolar, but my bipolar is not to go after innocent people. It's go after people trying to do physical threat to me, including my own two parents that I'm gonna see. Okay, if y'all know what I mean. Okay, when I talk about killing my family, it ain't about no killing about on the first hand level, idiots. It's about feeling threatened that you didn't imagine at the adulthood going through this bullshit. Okay, I don't care if your life was fucked up like that. Keep that shit in your life. Don't share that with those who don't want it. Okay, y'all so dumb. But anyway, so point is, there are people using this story. And so my point was trying to say about the N word, let me go back to that as well. Just drink my caffeinated tea, okay? Trying to get back to my my idea, my mind, okay? The idea of me defending Riley is self-defense, not corporal punishment. Self-defense. Like I said, anybody says the N word, I don't care what your fucking color is, your age is. I let my dark skinned homie, who I have tried to get help again because he have eczema, who works, who has a disability, who saw me in 2013 get hot in Midtown, catching the bus late at night coming from school. Um, what happened is white wigger who referred as nigga, okay? And I said, excuse me, stop calling me. Oh, I'm not racist. My black homie, I said, this black French, y'all not, I mean, y'all my mixed heritage, and told it cussed his motherfucking ass out, and he walked his little bitch ass away, okay? That if I did my dark skinned grandfather on my dad's side talk to him like a fool, I don't care if he ever come, he called me nigga, but I didn't anything to him, but being ugly and rude to me, and I did my grandma that way, who a little darker than me as well, not too dark, okay, then I do anybody any kind of way. Okay, because I did my own daddy wrong. Okay, so the word nigga is a fighting word to me, and therefore, so that when y'all, that's what it's not endearment to me. It's evil word. If I did voodoo on a white dude back when I was in fifth grade, dude to harass me in fifth grade, third grade, and fourth grade, he called me nigga back in 10, 30 years ago, excuse me, back in 88, 89, because I'm 39 years old, and last month was a death of his 20 version of his death. Okay, because died October 2098, excuse me. Now, I ain't do voodoo after 91 when he left, he gentrified his ass out the predominant Hispanic community, no longer white anymore. We are from, okay, the school I'm from, okay, originally from in the east side, okay, Harris County, okay, went to a white prompted area and got in the car wreck. I had nothing to do with that, okay? I ain't another voodoo spell with that doggone strong to it led to next couple years later when I left it alone. But if I did voodoo on this dude to get out a mixed choir, which is boys and girls choir, okay, in the fifth grade back in 1990, going on 91 in the fifth grade, and that spell went to that. Okay, thank you. If I went that demonic, and I didn't know it was demonic at the time, then let you know how I feel about the word nigger or nigga, okay? I don't care how you spell it, how you say it. I hate the fucking word. And someone, I will lose my humanity in my mindset of that word to a point I wish she was dead tomorrow, okay? I probably did in 1 minute, okay? If Hurricane Howard drove your ass drowned your ass last year in the flood and you refer me as nigga, I'll probably dancing on your fucking grave. That's how I feel about the word nigga, okay? So if I cuss a 12-year-old girl out, if I did about my family wrong, call me. If I did my two brothers wrong, who hood and he wrong, if I did, yeah, I would go ahead and be real with it. If I cuss a Latino dude out, if I cuss anybody out, any human being call me that fucking word, I hate it. Shit. I have pride, deeper love. Thank you. Those brothers who call themselves niggas, they have low about themselves. They think low and think it's black pride. Because to them, let me explain something. Black pride based on white supremacy is living low with black DNA and have a mammy, Uncle Ben smile with it. That's what they consider black pride. Thank you. Okay? Stay not voting like you're doing today. Remember, the nation is not told folks not to vote. Paid by the Ku Klux Klan. Okay? You know what I'm saying? They don't want us to have no true freedom. They want to say we hate ourselves, act like Jimmy Taylor when he would beat them Africans up in Uganda, that old white racist preacher, okay? Because they hate. Then they used to have Detramania, okay? Thank you. I don't have no self. I have Detramania, whatever that Samuel Cartwright said, okay? So, point is, that's what I have. And I probably have Detramania, or whatever it's called. Tetramania, it's called, okay? Point is, that my idea about this corporal, because people are now, because they're trying to ban corporal punishment, and the American Pediatrics Association, what it's called, are saying that spanking does cause, and I'm sorry to let you know, it does cause negative effect. People use the Bible verses, and how many times I keep telling you that St. Peter wrote into his doggone town, his second letter, that there's no personal privacy for personal interpretation of scriptures, but I'm not a Protestant anymore. And in the first is Second Peter chapter 1, 2021. I'm not the perfect one. I know I'm cursing, but I know my scriptures on this. In the third chapter of Second Peter, the verses 15 and 17, the people with the source scripture on structure. So remember, Protestant came from people made their own churches outside the Catholic Church that Jesus found. Okay, that's called it is. So point is, they make their own interpretation based on their own philosophy and mixed with God's word. That's why the denominations in the Protestant faith do not get along, and they argue amongst each other and all this other stuff. Now, because of human concept, okay? Now, the idea of them defeating corporal punishment, we gotta understand that when the Anglos came here, the Puritans, okay, white men felt at the time, the Puritans, Pilgrims were called, and when it came through the Plymouth Rock and all this other stuff, that they were superior, and the white woman and children was inferior to them. That's why they was able to beat their wives and beat their children. Okay, and when it comes to people of color, they feel it's beneath them. They deserve to get their behind whipped and mistreated and dehumanized too. Do you understand that the idea of the corporal punishment was it started in United Kingdom, in England, okay, right after Reformation. That's why when I traced my white side of my family tree, and I traced my roots to the 1590s, okay, on Answer.com, and I'm a descendant of my 13th grandfather, who's a white English man, named James Bacon, Reverend James Bacon, that's his name, and I was mad because I'm an ex-Protestant Catholic, okay? And know about the Reformation, know about Martin Luther, know about those people distorting the scripture. I do not play with that. When I'm trying to do something right, you don't play with my conscience, okay? You don't put you saying, so you believe what you want to believe, but don't try to force that, because in the South they do try to force. They always picking their signs trying to make you believe their own version of Jesus. It's St. Paul, St. Chris, okay? So when I saw that on my mom's ancestry, tracing my grandmother who's white, and traced it all from the South, from Texas to Alabama to Georgia and Virginia in uh, England, Suffolk, England, and London, England, where that's my white side ancestry come from. 2 years ago, and I saw a reverend. I know he wasn't a priest, so I was upset about that. So y'all get my point. When people restore scripture, I do not play with that. That's when Nat Turner got his ass whooped by the slave masters right after he was telling the slaves the story in the Bible to stay in their place and don't and do what masters say and all this other stuff. And he was being so nice and kissing their ass until they got tired of it and they whooped his ass. I didn't get offended, and I watched that Nate Parker movie, but I did not get offended. I was glad he got whooped ass because that's what you get for sorting the scripture and telling your people to stay in their place and be oppressed, and say it's God's will to do so. So that's why you have folks believing in other religions, becoming pagans, becoming voodoo, but and say they don't believe in God, become their work because stuff like this. Okay, now as I'm looking at this situation here, y'all don't understand that corporal punishment was not a biblical thing. This was a false interpretation, twisting those verses in Proverbs. Okay, due to people think that who's superior and who's inferior complex. So years goes by when they take away the Native American, they beat Native American children too, and they start to colonize the 13 colonies, and they separate from the North and South, and start bringing slaves in Jamestown. They treat the slaves like they're not human, and they did use corporal punishment. They did rape. They did all these things back in slavery. Twist the Bible in the South, especially Celebrate Convention. Um, Say that corporal punishment, of course, the white kids got corporal, but it was not extreme compared to the black and mixed race children, okay, on the plantation. And the reason why that single black, we're not pure black, but single so-called pure black mothers in America get the rap on YouTube from brothers who were raised by them, because some of those mothers had Winnish syndrome and did not give it up, okay? Not say all mothers, but they don't understand this was all in making. And even watching the documentary on Good Times, I'm glad Esther Roll told those white producers, I'm not playing this good times unless you have a black husband on thing. They did not want a black. I'm staying there, okay? So folks understand. It seemed to me right after the civil rights movement was there and they integrated us. They had a plan to cause drama, as Martin King say, but we had to burn the fire out. Okay, if we in a burning house, a fireman, firewoman would burn the fire out and try to rebuild. That's what we need to have that mindset. Okay, so yeah, they want us to be in a burning house. They want to cause Planned Parenthood to lower our population control, make legalize abortion, and all these other things to do. Okay, understand it was in making use of black nationalists. That's why Muhammad Ali was that puppet. Okay, I'm gonna call it Muhammad Ali was their purpose. If you got H. Hunt paying your organization, the Nation of Islam, and you advocate, see, once they understand, and folks to understand, they had black nationalist people right after the Martin King was killed. The main celebrities who spoke their politics were famous. When understand that when the white guy that shot their sister and brother at Kroger, he said that black people been abusing white folks since the 70s. Okay, he is telling the truth. Let me explain why. I don't like Howard Stern, but Howard Stern and even Colin Falter mentioned this. And when they integrate the schools and they start busing white kids to mostly Africans in the schools, they put them in ghettos. The idea was to cause white children to feel like they have animosity towards African American people. So they put them in violent ghetto who uneducated folks who have the African American, you will develop the mindset of being a racist. That's why you have the skinheads in New York, skinheads in LA, and Aaron Hood, because that's what it was all in a making. Okay, you have a higher up that's organized this. They, saying, they wasn't trying to teach the kids of all colors to get along. There were some people like Jane Elliott, but there were very few. Let's be real, okay? So remember that Father of mine. What's that? Is it everlast? We have a problem with this YouTube was going on YouTube, but I forgot what I. So anyway, I do apologize for uh, there you go. So word way. I don't see that some brother okay took none of us out of us related to us. Anyone pay different care. Okay, that's how I disdain for the extreme disdain for it. So, but I want people to understand that I'm always be against. Okay, and I know people are using the Mr. Riley's situation as say American pediatric people are now saying they're going to want to ban it and cause some like psychological damage, and it's true. I'm bipolar. I am bipolar, and people are misusing the Bible. And I'm getting very tired of people distorting scriptures, no different than Jim Jones did, and David Koresh to. And not folks who African descent, especially down south, should know how the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant people in the south misuse that Bible, especially King James corrupt Bible, should I say, to cause racism and slavery and rape and mistreatment. And the spiritual abuse was already there, besides the racism. Why would you defend this? Why would not do what the book of Thessalonians say? Test everything, hold was good. I think it's 5:21. Versus okay, you supposed to test everything, hold was good. You didn't question God. God wants you to be educated because people suffer lack of knowledge, right? Hosea 6:4. So my question is to people who would defend this. Have you understand the history? And so what happened is I was debating with a sister. Told she said that if you do whipping, you would not have to worry about going to jail. And I laugh because I know people who've been in and out of jail, okay, who got whippings. Half of the I had to agree with Thomas. Yo, when he was locked up, majority of the brothers that locked up with him said they all got whippings by their mamas. So if whipping's supposed to stop you from going to jail, why if I go interview any prisoner, find it, they will tell me straight up they were beaten. They probably tell me they were molested because don't understand that child abuse do scandalize the children into their adulthood. Okay, I am bipolar. If my family didn't do the stuff they did, besides the bully I had there with school, I would not be at this state right now. I'm doing better than I was before, but I've been way developed right now. It does mess up your brain, and just like the book of Colossians, St. Paul says that fathers do not provoke your children and become discouraged. That is the truth, okay? Colossians 3:21 is very true about that. Then they say you love someone. I'm debating some high up light skinned sister on Facebook about this. I'm back on Facebook, y'all. And I said, excuse me, in Corinthians 13, it does say love is not Christian rule over injury. So rule over injury also include hitting, physical harm, right? So do you know that those proverbs about spare the rod, spare the child actually has a different meaning compared how you interpret it? And it's actually true that the the shepherd control the sheep and use the rod to guide it. Okay, and it goes back into one of those chapters in Psalms. So when you misinterpret it, we need to understand when you're reading from the Old Testament, you cannot read it from American New Testament type mentality. It was made for Jews, the Torah, by Jews. So you have to understand from their perspective when you read the Old Testament, not from modern day time. Okay? So you actually need to do research on those verse and proverbs, okay? And but not from evangelical Protestant, because that's what this whole thing comes from, okay? So when you are getting mad, a lot of folks understand that those kids or those prisoners today who are locked up, you are dealing with people who did come from broken homes. Even if they did have money and look good in the inside, outside, it was not good on the out. I mean, inside, excuse me. So that's the whole reason why you have these bad children. I see how their parents are because I know especially the girl that's complained about in this video. Her mother does whip her, but she respect her. Okay, and adults that she's chosen to respect, if you know what I mean, based on the mother's guidance. The other adults and children she's that the mother's disregard, that's what the little girl disrespects. Because the mother's not like me, okay? So you gotta understand, then her mother's behavior is crime ridden, besides the drugs. I'm not gonna go detail I tell her business. That scandalized little girl to do criminal activity when they see her mother or the stepdad or her own father does this. That's the whole reason why that little boy, I bet you, and I'm not putting money aside, that little boy who came up to Mr. Riley came from an abusive home. Mother could be in and out of jail, okay? And dad could be some thug, cholo, and also this woman could be cholo too, okay? From the old school days. Well, either my age, if they had them young, or either the baby boom age. They had some type of scandal, or he was taken out of the home if the mother could not take care of the kid and placed in a foster care where there are abusive parents who get paid by the government, keep it silent from them, and the government sometimes don't care because CPS being exposed for doing this mess, okay? So that child, in his mind, feel violated, scared, and timid by the adult who took care of them. But when he goes out in the real world, he's tacking it on everybody, projecting that same energy that he got as a kid, and probably still to this day, towards other adults and children because he feels the whole world is against me. And folks don't understand that's what's going on with these children. It is not because they're not getting, actually get a lot of weapons at home. And the parents go berserk. Sometimes parents burnt these kids, rape these kids. The folks to understand, you gotta look at their environment and their parents and their guardians. And when I move into the hood, okay, because in middle class America, where I'm from, people keep their shit hidden with the money they have, okay? They come out smile like they all good, but behind closed doors they're a monster. Well, in the hood, where it's more private, even they can hide their shit, people more open, especially who are poor, are more open with their shit, okay? So I'm looking at grandmother smoking weed, grandfather smoking weed. Grandma also did not come out of the ghetto. Grandpa didn't either. Also, the mothers didn't too, and the fathers. The 9 10 the mothers choose thug daddies. Daddies have other kids. He's selling dope. Okay, he can be married, but they both is robbing together. So you're dealing with criminals who made children, okay, and their children are going to these public schools since they don't have proper guidance at home. Also, these criminals are beating the crap out their kids, and the kids take it out on other kids and definitely in the teacher. They have no trust factor. Okay, I'm not defending the little boy's racist and bad behavior, but that is the truth. And so we bring race into this. Okay, in these public schools, when you're talking about bringing corporal punishment, the main target is that little boy and even the brothers, who's no different than me and Mr. Riley, and I'm Mr. Spanish as well. Okay, but their demographic, okay, who are that young, they're targeting minority male children, okay, then females, and then white males, but they would not let a minority staff whip a white girl. Okay, y'all understand this? If you catch a Mexican, a Latino man, or African American man who is a principal whipping a white little girl, this will be an outrage. Okay, y'all don't understand this. Okay, so they're targeting minorities. They're not targeting white children. Yes, white children get whipped. Yes, there's white people from the South. Yes, there's white people believe in spanking their kids. Okay, however, their main focus is to get after the African American and Hispanic and the American males, Asian as well. So they can fuck their brains up so they will not sell. That's why these dudes end up not graduating high school, okay, and going out doing the drug game because they see that's fast money. And then two, their brain cells are fucked up from being beaten at home and also beaten at school to the point they have no way to go. A lot of folks that ain't talking about this. Now, this is in LA, right? Then I did a video before this whole thing about Treasure and Dr. Phil, and I mentioned that Dr. Phil was practicing psychological racism, okay? That folks do not talk about why that I talk about it because it's affected my life. I believe my two doctors are in it, okay? When it comes to me, putting it on man, that's why I don't take medication anymore. Because if I find evidence that they're giving drugs like Invega and Prozac, and it's there to fuck up the brains of minority males, okay, you want to know why there's gang problems in LA, and they do this in New York as well, and also and they're probably doing it here in Houston. I'm gonna be shocked because Dr. Joel Lee West, who worked at UCLA, who was part of the CIA when it was doing crack epidemic, okay, had violent centers targeting minority men of African American and Latino Hispanic descent. And they put these men on shock treatments and drugs, which they made them when they go back in the real world, in which I wouldn't be shocked that Orlando Brown is in that situation, okay? You know, y'all saw what happened with Orlando Brown. And remember I said that rehab must gave him some drugs. The point that it fucked his brains up when he came out of the rehab, kicked him out. He's looking for other harsh drugs that make it worse. I'm not, this is my assumption, okay? When the situation here, Dr. Jolie West had these folks at these violent facilities focus on African American and Hispanic men, especially and boys who are involved in gang activity in LA, East LA, South Central, Inglewood, call like it is, okay? to put them on some shock treatment and drugs. So when they go back in the real world, they are 10 times worse than they were before. That's why it's a bunch of them in Folsom and St. Quentin prison. A lot of people ain't talking about this. So when they talk about corporal punishment, it's since in Trump America, their eyes go after minority males. So it would not be productive in society and it would not be the same economic factor as white males. A lot of folks not looking at this. That's why they want the single parent epidemic to go on. When I attacked Talia Graham in Baltimore, beating her son being an Aunt your mama, the reason why she did not, because actually there is, according to law, child abuse. Even though he threw rocks at the police department, the brother that did this, excuse me, you witnessed child abuse, you can go to jail as well. Okay, so they don't report it that she abused her son. Of course, certain states allow you to spank your kids, but that was according to their state laws, that went beyond what she was doing. She should have went to jail. Okay, just like her son was throwing rocks at the police officer, he should too. She should as well. I said many times, the reason why this dude is violent is due to that damn mammy of his. And the mammy had 6 kids out of wedlock in a private area. Her hair done. That's one thing I'm weird, that her nails done, her weave done, but she's in private. How she's getting her money? Is it TANF money? Is she selling food stamps? What is going on here? How she getting her hustle? Okay, so if she's on public housing or Section 8, she's not working, but she has 6 children out of wedlock. How she's taking care of those kids besides government system? Because I'm thinking private. Because you can go to not 99-cent store and still look good. Go to Goodwill. I'm not lying, okay? But extensions are so expensive to the point of going to the hair store and stealing it, robbing folks for it so they can set it off the street and make a buck. So how in the hell she is in private? She has 6 children out of wedlock. Her son is violent. Her son is throwing rocks at the police department. My question is to them, and I have to agree with some of you on this, how she's taking care of those kids. Is she selling dope? Is she selling stamps, which is a federal crime? Okay. What is she doing to get her hair done and her nails done to the point that she's in private? Because if she's making a good amount of money, why the hell her son still live? Her and her children are living in private area. Can y'all understand she's not working? That don't make any sense. Somebody's giving some sugar daddy. Somebody's giving her money, and so it's her lazy way to act and clown a fool because she wanted to get shot by the police. But you got brothers who do not act a fool, and Latino brothers who don't act a fool, who get shot by the police too, who also get falsely accused. They put drugs in the vehicle, okay, and make it seem like they're selling dope when they're not. So my question is to that: why are you making this argument about corporal punishment? Because actually, it's not working. When these folks, and that's why I share my story with the villains I suppressed as a child. When I got beaten and spanked, my reaction was to retaliate, but I did not want the repercussions of retaliating and going to jail. Okay? So when I talk about beating and killing my family and that, and yeah, that's what came in my head. I'm not gonna lie about that. When I got spankings, I wanted to kill myself and I wanted to kill my family. Ain't no white dude situation. It is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Okay? Those are true stories that people don't tell you. They're brainwashed to say it made me a good person when it actually didn't. It made them worse monsters just like they did the ones who did it. But I know why that dude is frustrated. Okay? Because now he's being abused at home. Because my question is, why y'all trying to lock Mr. Riley up? Can we find out what's going on in their home? Just like everybody should lock Treasure and her mom up, okay? We didn't find out what's going on in her home. And this mother's home, this Latino version of Mammy, what's going on with your home, your casa? Because the child is acting, and I bet you he's acting just like her or her dad. His dad, excuse me, okay? That's what these kids, the hood disease they try to make up now, coming from. The reason why they have an AKA hood disease, because they have hood disease parents, grandparents. Someone who's raising them and they're not raised by their parents, their natural family, they are being adopted by bad adopted parents. And also, too, a lot of us ain't looking at this. And CPS has that child. CPS do not care about minority children. And I noticed when I called loss on my grandmother back in '94, they was trying to keep me there and they had me coach, to say that I was wrong and I deserved and I should never call laws. And there's a white man that came over to CPS that day. I don't forget it. And the white chief in our town was on her side. Okay? Because they don't want me to have a good developed brain. They threaten from action. If I don't have this um, abused weakness syndrome, I will not function. I won't function in society, and I tend to be economic advanced compared to by working, having your own business. So it's oppressed them because white men who are racist don't want to see a man of color to rise up above him, okay? Economically, okay? That's the whole reason why I mentioned about the low wage positions. Instead of fighting over what Latinos get paid more and who was hiring them over black, whatever. Both communities need to learn how to have their own business and learn about the idea and racism of politics, along when it comes to economics. Okay, that's why they pay a Latino or African person or Latina low wage to keep them in the economic default they want them to be. That's what the idea is about. Okay, so that's the reason why that I look at this. The Dr. Jolie West gave drugs to Latino and African men in LA during Daryl Gates, who was Klan, and the man before him, along with Mark Farmer and all these people from the CIA and Reagan Bush. If they're doing this mess to target men of color, that's the whole reason why. So they're trying to turn this story, since it involves a two-bit of color who's a teacher and one is student, to cause physical harm to our children. The only time a teacher is okay to beat up a child if the child's trying to come and fight him. That's the whole argument I had on that video. And of course, I hate the N word to the point I will hurt you. Okay, no matter what, you can be my man, me and my mom. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm not gonna have no love for you. Okay, I went against God, and then God come down and talk to me about that. Not your dumb human ass who wouldn't be out there. I just speaking still on my eye. Okay, point is, I don't have no respect for anybody who refer me as a word because I know the history behind that word. Okay, so that's why I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Okay, that's my whole argument about Mr. Riley and this situation that happened in California. Okay? But it's not defending corporal punishment. I want y'all to get that clear. Okay? The reason why these brothers, besides the drugs they're using in these facilities, towards minority men, they're also getting violent because they have episodes. Even that's why I punched the wall on my here in my apartment. I get angry and have episodes of what happened. It's hard to let go, especially when the people involved in bystander situations, why I delete my private Facebook account, are trying to be part of your life so they can bring that shit back again. Okay, that's what you get my point. Because you don't want to use victim. Okay, you want to be a victim, but you want the whole nature of the shit gone. That's when you want to let go, not pretend fake and it's gone and it's not gone, it's in your face. You know what I'm saying? You get my point. So that's the whole reason why that I'm talking about this. This situation was used, okay? And people are now saying that yeah, we need to have paneling, and the American Pediatric Center is wrong. You shouldn't tell me how to raise my kids. But us who've been spanked, who are very honest, when we got spanked, the idea was to beat your ass, regardless if you're my parent. We didn't want repercussions, legal repercussions on us. That's the reason why that someone like me did not react that way. Okay, that's why we try to avoid you. We don't want that to happen again. Even it goes to adulthood. You have folks trying to beat their adult parents, adult children. Excuse me. Okay, so I don't want to have to get to the point that I want, say, go to Harris County Jail behind. So I stay a distance from my family. Okay, it's a bunch of violent people want to get away with being violent for gratification. Let's call it like it is, okay? So that's the whole reason. You distort the Bible. You want to why the folks are secularized in this country? A bunch of women she clearly wants to have control of the country. Okay? That's what this whole idea is. So when I hear this stories being used to be pro corporal punishment, I have to speak up about it. Okay? The only time that you're okay is adult to hit a child when a child is trying to do physical harm or threat to you, including killing you. All right? Okay? So that's the only time that I defend it. So that's all I gotta say.